I'll stop the rain for you and steal the sun. Find you new words. There's no death in love. Heart of fire. Je vous attends. I'll wait for you. Ice cold in the dark, my heart is stone, empty and still. C'est mon cœur glacé, this frozen heart, crush my fears, melting for you. I'll wait for you.
We are waiting for the time. A time when Imam Mahdi al-Salam will come, and then we will join them and defeat Antichrist. But before the arrival of Imam Mahdi al-Salam, how we can save ourselves from the fitna of Antichrist? Unfortunately, we are already in a war against Antichrist, without knowing that we are in a war. That is the art of deception. Those who accept his system and ideology, for them it's not a war, it's a revolution. Pornography is Antichrist's basic system. There are many other systems. But unfortunately, allow me to say, that we failed to protect ourselves or our generation, from this fitna. We are on the edge. Let me show you pornography statistics. About 75% of internet pornography originates in the United States. Close to 15% originates in Europe. It is estimated that some 70 million people a week visit pornographic websites. About 20 million of these users are in Canada and the United States. According to one source, 70% of internet pornography traffic occurs during the day. It is estimated by some that 100,000 internet sites include material on child pornography. About 80% of the internet's commercial child pornography originates in Japan. 2006 top worldwide search request, keyword, porn. South Africa is at number 1. Ireland is at number 2. New Zealand is at number 3. United Kingdom is at number 4. Australia is at number 5. Keyword, XXX. Bolivia is at number 1. Chile is at number 2. Romania is at number 3. Ecuador is at number 4. USA sex industry breakdown for 2006. Video sales and rentals, 3.62 billion. Internet, 2.84 billion. Cable, in-room, mobile phone sex, 2.19 billion. Exotic dance clubs, 2 billion. Novelties, 1.73 billion. Magazines, 0.95 billion. And remember, in 2005, sex industry sales were 12.62 billion. Top video porn producers in all over the world. United States at number 1. Major porn video producers are Vivid Entertainment, Hustler, Playboy, Wicked Pictures, Red Light District. Brazil is at number 2 in porn producers. Major porn video producers are Frenzy Films, Power Brazil, Marco Studio. Netherlands is at number 3. Major porn video producers are Eurostream, Midhold Media, Your Choice, 17. Spain is at number 4. Major porn video producers are Private Media Group, Woodman Entertainment. Japan is at number 5. Major porn video producers are Soft On Demand, Moods. Russia is at number 6. Major porn video producers are Theaters, SP Company, Dolphin Entertainment. Germany is at number 7. Major porn video producers are Trimax, SG Video, GGG, Videorama, Zip Production. United Kingdom is at number 8. Major porn video producers are Hot Rod Productions, Joy Bear Pictures, Blue Juice Rude Britannia, Fresh SX. Canada is at number 9. Major porn video producers are Wild Rose Productions, Iran Model Group, Dugma. Australia is at number 10. Major porn video producers are Pistol Media. There are many countries such like Israel. Major porn video producers are in Israel, Sex Style. In France, Eurochoc, Isle du Coquen, Ragtime, Video Mark Dorse, JTC Video, Colmax, Cadenet. In Italy, major porn video producers are Adamo Entertainment. In Switzerland, Gordy Films and Icarus are the major porn video producers. Adult video sales and rentals have increased in general over the years. In the United States, 405 million videos were sold or rented in 1992. That number rose to 957 million in 2006. Top pornography banning countries are China, Cuba, India, Singapore, Kenya, Bahrain, UAE, Kuwait, Malaysia, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Syria. USA porn revenue exceeds the combined revenues of ABC, CBS, and NBC. 2.5 billion emails per day are pornographic. 68 million per day engine requests are pornography. 35% of all internet downloads are pornographic. The most popular day of the week for viewing porn is Sunday. Largest consumer of internet pornography, 12 to 17-year-old age group. 36 porn stars died, that we know of, from HIV, suicide, homicide and drugs between 2007 and 2010. 66% of porn performers have herpes, an incurable disease. 2,396 cases of chlamydia and 1,389 cases of gonorrhea reported among performers since 2004. Over 100 straight and gay performers died from AIDS. 26 cases of HIV reported by adult industry. Medical Healthcare Foundation AIM, since 2004. Child pornography is one of the fastest growing businesses online, and the content is becoming much worse. In 2008, Internet Watch Foundation found 1,536 individual child abuse domains. 70% of sexually transmitted infections in the porn industry occur in females, according to County of Los Angeles Public Health. Chlamydia and gonorrhea among performers is 10x greater than that of La County 20 to 24-year-olds. More than 11 million teens regularly view porn online. 50% of men and 20% of women in the church regularly view porn. Of 1,351 pastors surveyed, 54% had viewed internet pornography within the last year. Of all no child abuse domains, 48% are housed in the United States. Worldwide pornography revenue in 2006 was $97.06 billion. Of that, approximately $13 billion was in the United States.
See for yourself. See what they have before you take it away. Go on. Go on.
Doctors now claim that pornography can spark an addiction that is far more difficult to overcome than drug addiction. Treatment for drug addicts usually starts with detoxification to remove the substance from the body, but addiction to pornography. Dr. Mary Ann Larden of the University of Pennsylvania explains. Produces mental imagery which is permanently implanted in the mind of the user and is scaled in by brain chemistry. That is why individuals can vividly recall pornographic images from years past. She concludes, this is the first addictive substance for which there is no hope for detoxification. Woods is the most recent, and famous, case of possible celebrity sex addiction. Woods racked his escalade in late November 2009, allegedly due to a domestic dispute over an affair. As a parade of Woods' supposed mistresses talked to the media, he posted an apology on his website. I am deeply aware of the disappointment and hurt that my infidelity has caused to so many people, most of all my wife and children. He later reportedly checked into a clinic for sex addiction treatment, and has recently returned to the PGA Tour. Dutch Ovni has been married to T. Leone since 1997 and has 2 children, but that didn't stop rumors from flying about his promiscuous ways. He denied rumors by telling Playgirl magazine in 1997, I am not a sex addict. However, in August 2008, Dutch Ovni admitted to having a sex addiction and checked into rehab for treatment. Michael Douglas, Douglas played sexually driven characters in 2 movies, Basic Instinct and Fatal Attraction, and in a possible case of life imitating art, Douglas was reported to have entered sex rehab in 1993. However, in December 1994, Douglas told Star News that he entered the Sierra Tucson clinic for excessive drinking. Russell Brand. In his memoir, My Bookie Work, Brand admitted to suffering from an addiction to heroin and sex. He entered a sexual addiction treatment center in Philadelphia, completed treatment, and is now engaged to singer Katy Perry. Eric Bennett. Bennett, R&B singer, rose to fame after marrying Halle Berry when the couple separated in 2003. Rumors swirled that Bennett had been treated for sex addiction, although in 2008 he admitted to going through addiction treatment. Kanye West. In 2006, he told Rolling Stone that he enjoys pornography, but later insisted the reporter exaggerated his statements. However, in 2009, West shocked readers when he told Details magazine he had a sex addiction. "People ask me a lot about my drive," he says. "I think it comes from, like, having a sexual addiction at a really young age." Actor, comedian, Bill Murray. Bill Murray normally stays out of the spotlight, except when it comes to his love life. He was married to Margaret Kelly for 15 years, before the couple divorced over his affair with Jennifer Butler. Butler and Murray were married for more than 10 years. But when they divorced, Butler accused him of adultery, addiction to marijuana and alcohol, sexual addictions and frequent abandonment. Murray has not commented on the accusations.
When I was 16 years old, I kidnapped a 7-year-old girl from a mall at knife point and kidnapped her from the mall and sexually assaulted her on a mountain road outside of town. Pornography played a big part in the attitude I had towards females, women, girls in general. They weren't human. They're there for men's gratification and they serve no other purpose in life. There's nothing human about them. I didn't know how to relate to women other than the ways I had seen men relate to them in movies and magazines. I had no social skills beyond that. I abducted the girl from the mall because she was smaller and I knew I could force her into doing what I wanted. Pornography erodes away anything moral about people.
Sure, I'd fantasized about raping. You know, I'd seen a few films with my friends, and they were pretty violent acts in these films. And it got me sexually aroused to watch these acts, and the women were being beaten, raped, tied up, raped, sodomized, and I found myself getting sexually aroused by that. Had I not seen them films, I don't know how I would be today.
I think that it is the nature of pornography, that it takes men from who they are to being somebody different, that it teaches them to feel pleasure in areas that they would not have explored on their own.
Pornography portrays women as things to be penetrated. That's what women are in pornography, very clearly. And I think what men learn from that, or rather what they're relearning again and again from all the images, especially through pornography, is that women exist for male use.
Pornography taught me over the years that women were sluts, that They were a sex object. They were just to be used sexually.
And that's what pornography is very good at doing. It's good at stripping away the humanity of women and delivering this object.
Most of the people who join the porn industry come from broken homes. Many of the girls are sexually abused. So the porn industry actually lures in these kind of people to exploit them. So basically, when someone is watching pornography, what you are really doing is contributing to the demise and destruction of adult survivors of sexual child abuse who are on drugs and have physical disease. That's really what you are watching, because I promise you nobody is that industry is healthy. Shelley Lubin, ex-porn star and executive director of Pink Cross Foundation. How do I know pornography depraves and corrupts? It depraves and corrupts me. Malcolm Muggeridge. Porn is the most concerning thing to psychological health that I know of existing today. The internet is a perfect drug delivery system because you are anonymous, aroused and have role models for these behaviors. To have drug pumped into your house 24/7 free, and children know how to use it better than grown-ups know how to use it. It's a perfect delivery system if we want to have a whole generation of young addicts who will never have the drug out of their mind. Dr. Marianne Layden, Co-Director of Sexual Traumas and Psychopathology Program at the University of Pennsylvania's Center for Cognitive Therapy. We are now bringing up a generation of boys on cruel, violent porn, and given what we know about how images affect people, this is going to have a profound influence on their sexuality, behavior and attitudes towards women. Dr. Gail Dines, founding member of Stop Porn Culture.
A short man. Curly hair. Pigeon-toed. Thick hair on his body. Blind from his left eye. His eye neither prominent. I am speaking to you. Are you waiting for Djal?
Do you think you can stand against Djal? Do you think you can defend yourself?
Before you answer, I welcome you to the age of Djal, the age of deception of the world. He had a PhD in deception. Yes, you are living in the age of Djal, or Antichrist. Unfortunately, you are now a part of his system and his deception. You work for Djal, consciously or unconsciously. You make Djal strong. You help him to spread his and strengthen this world. You did a great help. Yes, you are the shareholder of Djal's system. You work for him day and night to make his system more effective.
Let me show you one little sample.
In 2006 worldwide pornography revenues balloons to $97.06 billion. The number one search term used at search engine sites is the word sex. Users searched for sex more than other terms such as games, travel, music, jokes, cars, weather, health and jobs, combined. The study also found that pornography or porno was the fourth most searched for subject. Every 39 minutes, a new pornographic video is being created in the United States. Largest consumer of internet pornography, 12 to 17-year-old age group. Every second $3,075.64 is being spent on pornography. Every second 372 internet users are typing adult search terms into search engines. Every second 28,258 internet users are viewing pornography. One single breath. In 1 second. How many times? How many times you worship him? Consciously or unconsciously? And increase that number? Imran ibn Hussein, Raziyallahu anhu, narrated from the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, those who hear about Dajjal should stay away from him. By Allah, a person will approach him thinking himself to be a believer, but on seeing his amazing feat, he will become his follower.
Talk about what happened in the pornography industry, we have to point to the later months of 1953 when Playboy hit the stands. And what happened is Playboy changed the nature of pornography in the Western world. Prior to Playboy, pornography was the under-the-counter, low class. It had an image of being associated with low class males, and any male who wanted to buy it was ashamed about buying it. It was in a brown paper bag. He had to find outlets for it. What Hugh Hefner did in December 1953 when he introduced pornography into the market was he made it respectable. He gave it an upper middle class aura, and he did this very purposely. When you read about Playboy and you read about Hefner and how he intended to sell Playboy, he sold it as a lifestyle magazine, but as an upper middle class lifestyle magazine. So what he says, for example, in the first Playboy in 1953 was, the Playboy enjoys his cocktails, he likes to listen to music, he likes to talk about philosophy, he likes Picasso. This was a coded way of saying that the new Playboy, the new guy who consumes pornography, is no longer this low-class guy who scurries in dirty passages or dirty alleyways. What he is this upper middle-class male who will consume this magazine which tells him how to dress, what to wear, what to buy, what to eat, and also the pictures. And the pictures were tagged on in selling it to the reader, because the reader did not want to see himself as a pornography user. The reader wanted to see himself as an upwardly mobile male who would consume this magazine in order to know how to have the Playboy lifestyle. And what happened between 1969 and 1974 was a battle between Playboy and Penthouse of who could produce the most explicit magazine. Penthouse won. Okay? Now, interestingly enough, the end of that sort of war between the two magazines was 1974, the very time that Hustler published their first issue. And it's no accident, because what the battle between Playboy and Penthouse did in terms of opening up the pornography was it pushed the limits of what was acceptable, and what was acceptable to be distributed through the mainstream channels. And so you could buy it in kiosks, you could buy it in airports. Prior to the 60s, you couldn't do that, and that's what has made it such a multi-billion-dollar-a-year industry. So Playboy, Penthouse and Hustler, together, as a group, worked.
90% of all neighborhood video stores have a section for soft and hardcore pornography tapes. Cable and satellite deliver pornography directly to the home. A new trend in the adult bookstore industry is the large outlet chain store, usually in the heart of a suburban neighborhood.
Behind me is an 18,000 square foot porn store called Castle Superstore. Castle boasts that it's going to have 500 stores nationwide in the next 5 years, and they say that they're mainstreaming pornography to the public.
The internet has made all types of hardcore and illegal pornography available to anyone with a computer and a modem.
But on the internet, there are places that they can go, and there are groups that they belong to on the internet where they can trade information, they can trade pictures, they can trade tips, and they also form a virtual community, which means that they insulate themselves further from larger societal values. So they can say, you know what, this is good, those guys are all picking on us, this isn't a problem, back in Greece they did this all the time, and that insulates them and protects them. It makes them more difficult to treat, more difficult to break through the denial, and for them to see it's a problem, because they have this community that's supporting their views.
And on the computer you can get a lot of shit.
Pictures of 14-year-olds.
Yeah, oh, definitely even younger.
You know, people ask, why is the internet so powerful around sexuality? And we think that it's something that we call the AAA engine, which has to do with access. It's there 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, whenever you have an itch. Affordability, you know, the internet is such a vast thing that there's supply and demand. You can get all kinds of sexual pictures and all kinds of stuff for free. And the third A is anonymity. So people engage in all kinds of things that they wouldn't do anywhere else. They wouldn't do these behaviors, they wouldn't engage in these behaviors anywhere else. And when you engage in it enough times, there's a concern about whether it desensitizes you to it, and whether you're more likely to then take it offline and engage in it offline.
What's on the internet? What's available?
Just everything, dude, from child pornography to straight up whips, flamethrowers, bestiality. It's out there, it's out there.
Have you seen child pornography?
Yeah, you can say that.
You know, again, kids are on the internet and they go everywhere, and whatever software protection you have on your computer, they defeat it. They're the experts on internet and software, so whatever you try to do, they defeat. And they go everywhere, and they see bestiality, they see rape, they see sexual violence, and again, I think it can confuse them.
Oh my gosh, look at those girls!
And I think it can hurt their attitudes about sexuality.
When we hear the word addiction, we usually associate it with a substance like alcohol or drugs. Yet pornography, even though not an ingestible substance like cocaine, seems to be used by many people in a compulsive drug-like way. In fact, many pornography addicts exhibit the same symptoms as drug addicts, such as tolerance, the need to have a harder and harder dose, dependence, becoming dependent on your drug of choice, and withdrawal, the feeling of physical pain when you are without the drug. All of these painful symptoms seem to promote out-of-control behavior as the addict tries to manage his addiction. Let's go back into the brain to see how a physical addiction to pornography can be created by the overstimulation of these neurochemicals. The brain has a built-in neurochemical feedback mechanism that works against dramatic mood alterations. As soon as a mood alteration takes place, the brain goes into action to stabilize the mood and restore baseline neurotransmission. Over time, as the user continues to indulge in the pornography experience, the brain reacts by producing less and deactivating more neurotransmitters. The delicate level of neurotransmission that produces a normal mood is now altered and has become dysfunctional. It's this dysfunctional level of neurotransmission that causes the uncomfortable symptoms of physical addiction: tolerance, dependence, and withdrawal. Because there are now less neurotransmitters in the system, it takes a harder, perhaps more violent form of pornography to achieve the same sexual arousal. Just like a drug addict needing a larger dose to get high. This is tolerance. Because the dysfunctional rate of neurotransmission is uncomfortable, the addict uses pornography to bring it to a normal level. He is dependent on it, just like an addict becomes dependent on a drug. If he tries to quit using pornography, he will experience actual physical discomfort. Again, just like a drug addict. This is withdrawal.
I'm a licensed psychologist in the state of California, and I specialize in the treatment of sexual disorders, including sex addiction, sexual compulsivity, and sexual offending. I'm currently the clinical director of the Sexual Recovery Institute in Los Angeles, one of the nation's leading centers for the treatment of sexual addiction. I'm here as an advocate for those impacted by the consequences of sex addiction, including not only those who struggle with sex addiction themselves, but the countless number of wives and partners of addicts and those children and families who are impacted and victimized by this disorder. Sex addiction is a behavioral disorder, a process addiction similar to gambling addictions or eating disorders. It is a chemical addiction in that the sex addict gets high on the neurochemistry that sexual arousal creates. Sex addicts in our society today engage in behaviors such as compulsive masturbation, strip clubs, prostitution, chronic infidelity, anonymous sex, exhibitionism, voyeurism, crossing of professional boundaries, and sexual offending. Whether it is our pop stars or our politicians, sex addiction and sexual acting out is a growing problem. Approximately 8 to 10% of Americans suffer from sex addiction. The numbers are even higher when we speak about cybersex. With the advent of the internet, cybersex has become a powerful vehicle for the sex addict. Whether it is online chatting, texting, webcams, or exchanging pictures, hooking up sites, or developing secret intimate romances, cybersex, and particularly internet pornography, is now referred to as the crack cocaine of sex addiction. The internet provides many of the things sex addicts seek all in one place: isolation, secrecy, fantasy material, endless varieties, around-the-clock availability, and instant accessibility. Sex addiction has many costs. People are literally losing their marriages, their families are being torn apart due to the withdrawal, betrayal, secrets and lies, and the erosion of trust. Children are victimized by the lack of focus on parenting, marital discourse, and eventual separation or divorce.
I was a porn actress for almost 2 years, and I experienced major abuse, drug addiction, prostitution, abuse by pornographers, abuse by club owners, all kinds of things that I went through, and I had very severe damages that literally took me 8 years to recover. The last thing I want to do, people, is talk about porn. Anyways, I go down there and I counsel these women, I spend time with them, and they end up just pouring their hearts out and sharing with me the same exact things I went through. Some of the things that I have learned working with them is that they suffer from a wide range of mental illnesses. They have severe depression, nightmares, flashbacks, unable to communicate normally. When I got out of the industry, I couldn't even look at anyone in the eyes. I wore sunglasses everywhere, and I kept my head down. I couldn't function normally. A lot of them defend this industry just like I did, because basically what you can't beat, you defend. It is very hard to get out of this industry and be normal and have a normal job. And I know because I did it. And now I help these women. Some of the other things are suicidal tendencies. There's at least approximately 1 suicide a year that happens. I've compiled an exhaustive list of suicides which are on my website. All this information, statements from other porn actresses, which I brought today. That leads to all kinds of crimes and rapes. I've had, there actually, a lot of the girls complain that the pornographers or porn producers set them up for scenes, and then they turn out to be what you call privates. Where they show up and there's no cameras. And a lot of the girls are like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this. And they're like, no, you signed a 1-year contract with us, and you're going to do what I say. Otherwise, I'm going to send cease and desist papers out to the other agency. You can't work. I've had women tell me they've had scissors inserted inside them on the set. Okay, and this is very true. I have a lot of this information on my website. These women have been bold to stand with me today to tell the truth. No one can talk about this because they're scared. You know? You think it's not easy for someone, they're frightened that someone's going to hurt them, they're being threatened all the time. And it's only because I had a very strong recovery and a very supportive family that I can even sit up here and tell you the truth about what's going on.
And as one woman said, she told her agent that she had no limits on what she was willing to do. She was willing to do anything if she was going to make money. Later, she said she had no idea what that meant, and by then she had signed a 1-year contract. She said she was terrified when she arrived at the studio to shoot her first scene. She said, "I tried backing out and wanted to go home and not do porn at all." She was reminded that she had signed a contract, so she couldn't back out, which of course she may have violated the contract, but certainly she had the right to back out. She said, "I was threatened that if I did not do the scene, I was going to be sued for lots of money." She said, "I experienced rough sex and was hit by the pornography actor. I told them to stop, but they wouldn't stop until I started to cry and ruined the scene. My first movie, I was treated very rough by 3 guys. They pounded on me, gagged me, and tossed me around like a ball. I was sore, hurting, and could barely walk. My insides burned and hurt so badly." Another woman said, "My first scene was the worst experience of my life. It was very scary. It was a very rough scene. My agent didn't let me know ahead of time. I did it and I was crying and they didn't stop. It was really violent. They were hitting me. It hurt. It scared me more than anything. They wouldn't stop. They just kept rolling."
I started out as a stripper, and progressed into webcam, then progressed into prostitution, and progressed into being a porn star, porn actress. And it's a slippery slope, because you start off saying, okay, I'm going to start off as a topless dancer, and you do that, and it's easy, and you make money, and then you're like, well, I can make more money if I was doing full nude. And then you do full nude, and then I was working in a strip club when I met my pimp, and he introduced me into prostitution, and I was making $10,000 a week or more. And it's a lifestyle. I mean, you drive a nice car, you live in a nice house, you have tons of money, you can buy whatever you want. But what does that get you in the end? I don't have any of the things from when I did that. I know that you have some advice for Victoria. Victoria's 14-year-old, and she's 16-year-old prostitution. Money and material things can be gone like that. And then you did all those things for what? For what? Nothing. Nothing. Doesn't make you a better person. Doesn't make you smarter. Doesn't get you ahead in life. All it does is numbs you. Like you said. It does. It really does.
Hi, I'm Julie, formerly known as Sierra Sin, and I want to let you know the truth about porn. Porn is disgusting, and it ruins people's lives. It destroyed me for a while, but I'm not letting that happen anymore. Porn just puts bad things into people. It makes you sore all over. You walk around worrying about catching STDs. Many girls do catch STDs, and it's disgusting. By the end of the day, you're covered in goo, and your body hurts. There's different places that are sore and swollen, and you have this constant feeling that no one cares about you.
As I got older, and I moved away from just looking at pornography, and found myself dating dancers in strip joints, and I worked in strip joints as a doorman and a bouncer, and then along with my girlfriend we became involved in the pornography industry. And by that time I had a pretty nasty little drug and alcohol habit, and so this is how we made our money to live and to get our drugs. And I've come to think of pornography like a drug. Now, I am a recovering alcoholic, and I'm a recovering drug addict. I used to smoke my crack, and I would drink my alcohol, and I would take the pills and do whatever to get that stuff into my body. Well, the pornography I just ingested through my eyes. But I believe at the brain chemistry level, and even at the level of our cells in our bodies, that pornography has a drug-like effect. And people are very capable of becoming addicted to pornography, just like they're capable of becoming addicted to drugs. And I don't believe that anyone is immune to that. The honest prayer I've ever prayed in my life was when I looked up at the stars one night, and I said, God, I don't know who you are. But if you don't help me, I'm going to die. I'll call you anything you want. I was willing to become a Buddhist or a Muslim, Hindu. I would have been anything.
I find myself not that much unlike the slaves and slave traders of some 400 years ago. I participate in the most heinous of all trades, the buying and selling of human flesh. I trade my own flesh for monetary compensation, and I sell the flesh of others for the same. Lexington Steele, porn performer and producer. I am not here to apologize. I am just here to say, we make entertainment and let's see how far we can take it. Max Hardcore, former porn performer and producer. I was the first to shoot Rocco. Together we evolved toward rougher stuff. He started to spit on girls. A strong male-dominant thing, with women being pushed to their limit. It looks like violence, but it's not. I mean, pleasure and pain are the same thing, right? John Stagliano, porn producer. Even the mildest pornography is shocking to the average person. I am surprised it's legal. Paul Thomas, porn producer.
All right, we have time for just one more quick question for all three ladies. Bottom line here, do you think this porn industry should be shut down as it weighs through all of this? Shelley, you go first.
Absolutely. In fact, I demand that California shut it down right now until it complies with the California state laws, just like any other workplace in California.
Okay, Jocelyn, what do you think?
I think that there should be more steps taken to protect, everybody in the industry, and then because it protects the people outside of the industry as well, because most people in the industry are with people that are not in the industry.
And then Gloria, shut it down right now?
Well, it has to be shut down right now because there cannot be the risk that actors in the adult film may be filming with someone who is in the quarantine list and who may, in fact, show up positive for HIV.
Ladies?
I love this woman. She's so sweet. I want to introduce you to someone very special to me. This is Sierra Sen, soon to be ex-porn star if I have anything to do about it. And I just spent some time talking to her. And Sierra, in a nutshell, what is it that maybe you want to say to people who are watching what porn has done to your life?
Porn. The glitz and glamour is completely the opposite. It's shattered my heart. It's shattered my mind. I can't be intimate with people. I can't have closeness, or I just get uncomfortable with men, especially. And I want to be able to get past it. I want to get past the pain and the hurt. And I just don't want to cry anymore about nothing.
And she wants to be with her daughter.
Yeah, I have a 5-year-old and I love her. And she's at home with my mom because I'm not able to be with her right now. I think if I got some other better options other than pornography, that I could be with her.
So would you say that porn is basically a lie?
Porn is a huge lie.
Could you tell them that? I want them to hear the truth.
Pornography is a lie.
Did I force you to say that?
No. My life has forced me to say that. The pornography world has forced me to say that.
Thanks. She needs our help. We need to help her.
The number one search term used at search engine sites is the word sex. Users searched for sex more than other terms such as games, travel, music, jokes, cars, weather, health and jobs combined. The study also found that pornography or porno was the fourth most searched for subject. Only 3% of adult websites require age verification. About 200,000 Americans are porn addict. defined as spending 11 hours or more per week online looking at porn. Addiction to porn has led to 40% of sex addicts lose their spouses. 58% suffer considerable financial losses. 1/3 lose their jobs. Pornography use increases the marital infidelity rate by more than 300%. Severe clinical depression was reported twice as frequently among internet pornography users compared to non-users. The USA produces 89% of all pornographic web pages. There are over 800 million rentals of adult videos across the United States. San Fernando, the porn capital of the world, produces 90% of all pornographic films and releases 20,000 adult movies per year. Worldwide sex industry sales for 2006 are reported to be $97 billion. To put this in perspective, Microsoft, who sells the operating system used on most of the computers in the world, in addition to other software, reported sales of $44.8 billion in 2006. 72 million. The approximate number of unique visitors to adult websites in 2006, per month, worldwide. 420 million. Total number of porn pages, 40 million. The number of USA adults who regularly visit porn websites. A study of university networks by Palisades Systems found searches for child pornography at 230 colleges nationwide. The research revealed that 42% of all searches on file-to-file sharing systems involved child or adult pornography. The study also found that 73% of movie searches were for pornography. 24% of images searches were for child pornography, and only 3% of the searches did not involve pornography or copyrighted materials. 1st April, 2003, Des Moines Register. The porn industry employs in excess of 12,000 people in California. In California alone, the porn industry pays over $36 million in taxes every year. Bill Lyon, a former lobbyist for the defense industry turned lobbyist for porn, as quoted by CBS News November 2003, Hollywood currently releases 11,000 adult movies per year, more than 20 times the mainstream movie production. 42% of songs on 10 top-selling CDs in 1999 contained sexual content, 41% of which were very explicit, or pretty explicit. Family News in Focus, July 2005. 55% of porn movie rentals versus non-porn movies in hotels in 2005. AV News, State of the Adult Industry. The average time a porn movie is watched in a hotel room is 12 minutes. Time.com. How much does DirecTV make off of adult product? They do not break the number out, but I would guess they'd probably get a couple $100 million, maybe as much as $500 million, off of adult entertainment in a broad sense. Dennis McAlpine, a partner in McAlpine Associates, who has tracked the entertainment industry for over 2 decades. I would think it's probably more than what their overall profit is. The other areas are losing money. That's making money. Then there are the big hotel chains: Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt, Sheraton and Holiday Inn, which all offer adult films on in-room pay-per-view television system. And they are purchased by a whopping 50% of their guests, accounting for nearly 70% of their in-room profits. One hotel owner said, "We have to have it, our guests demand it." From a CBS News special report, November 2003, the average teenager spends 3 to 4 hours per day watching television, and 83% of the programming most frequently watched by adolescents contains some sexual content. Gary Rose, CEO of the Medical Institute, as reported by Focus on the Family, 39 million homes receive the adult channels in scrambled form, while the number of children with potential exposure to such images is about 29 million. Morality continues to decay. Barna Research Group, 3rd November, 2003. 15 new STD cases from porn actors and actresses are reported every week.
Out of 81 pastors surveyed, 74 males and 7 females, 98% had been exposed to porn. 43% intentionally accessed a sexually explicit website. National Coalition Survey of Pastors. Seattle, April 2000. The fastest growing demand in commercial websites for child abuse is for images depicting the worst type of abuse, including penetrative sexual activity involving children and adults, and sadism, or penetration by an animal. 58% of child sexual abuse images depict this level of abuse. IWF 2008. 69% of all victims in child abuse images are between the age of 0 and 10 years old. 87% of university students are having sex over webcams, instant messenger or the telephone. Reuters, Ontario, Canada. 16th of February, 2006. In May 2004, Business Week printed the results of a Comscore Networks survey, where 44% of USA workers with an internet connection admitted to accessing an X-rated websites at work in the month of March 2004, as compared to 40% of home users and 59% of university users. 57% of pastors say that addiction to pornography is the most sexually damaging issue to their congregation. Female porn stars can make anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 annually. Most girls who enter the porn industry do one video and quit. The experience is so painful, horrifying, embarrassing, humiliating for them that they never do it again. Luke Ford, quoted by CBS News.
Queen's University in Belfast conducted a survey of 350 businesses in the USA, UK and Australia for the porn filtering FilmSurf control. 28% of those questioned said they had downloaded sexually explicit content from the web while on the job. USA-based employees were slightly less likely to do so than workers in other countries. The survey also found abuse to be slightly higher in organizations with more than 500 employees. Of the 31% of employees who distributed sexually explicit material from work, 36% worked at companies larger than 500 employees. 27% worked for companies with 20 employees or less. MSNBC. A 2000 MSNBC.com survey found that as many as 80% of visitors to sex sites were spending so much time tracking down erotica on the computer that they were putting their real-life relationships and jobs at risk. until they discovered cybersex. According to the survey's author Ann Cooper, a sex therapist at the San Jose Marital Services and Sexuality Center in San Jose, California. Did you ever ask a question, how you been addicted to pornography?
To their words, 'cause I like birds. I don't care for walking downtown, crazy auto car gonna mow me down. Look at all the people like cows in a herd. Well, I like birds. If you're small enough, birds.
Louer une femme, c'est possible. Surfez vite sur www.rentawife.be. Femme en location, bonheur à la maison.
Remember that, this is not an accident, this is a carefully crafted design by the servants of the Antichrist. Television is the best tool to control your mind, and it also prepared you for the next level, to pornography. Slowly, through commercials, films, music videos and especially from cartoons.
Escute bem, com o nível de bruxaria, satanismo, pornografia e espiritismo nos vídeos da Disney. Eu somente vou dizer alguns nesta noite porque o tempo não permite, porque eu quero que a sua casa seja livre, como a nossa casa foi livre. Por exemplo, no vídeo de Mermaid, como se chama Mermaid, The Little Mermaid, aqui no Brasil. Lena Sereia, veja aqui, meu querido. Quero que você veja a capa da sereia. Se você parou para pensar e para examinar na capa, a coluna terceira da mão direita para a esquerda é o membro genital, o membro sexual do homem parado para cima. Este vídeo de Little Mermaid é um vídeo de pornografia infantil. Detrás da música onde diz kiss the girl, beije a moça, há um grupo jamaicano falando palavras africanas para amaldiçoar a cada criança que está escutando o vídeo. Por exemplo, no vídeo de Aladdin, como se diz Aladdin? Aladino. Se você para o vídeo em slow motion, devagar, não sei o que chama, slow motion, você coloca devagar, você verá que ele diz tão rápido, mas você não pode entender. Ele diz, good teenagers, take off your clothes. Ele está dizendo, crianças boas e adolescentes, tire a sua roupa. Tem um vídeo que tem causado sensação tremenda, se chama Pocahontas. Você sabe o que quer dizer a palavra Pocahontas? Você já estudou essa palavra indígena, o que quer dizer Pocahontas? É uma palavra indígena com dois sentidos. Poca, espírito. Hontas, abismo. Espírito invocado do abismo. Quando você diz Pocahontas, você está chamando o diabo ao lado do seu lado e ao lado dos seus filhos. Isso que a Disney está ensinando: pornografia, espiritismo, satanismo e destruição aos nossos filhos. Há um vídeo chamado The Lion King, o Rei Leão, o Leão Rei. A revista Time disse que é o vídeo mais sujo, mais perverso e carregado de violência que nenhum outro vídeo a Disney jamais produziu. Que as crianças que olham o Lion King hoje serão os assassinos amanhã. Você sabe quem produziu o vídeo de Lion King? Foi um homem homossexual que já morreu de AIDS em Nova York. Se chamou John Smith. Ele que criou, segundo um filme, o leão que caminha afeminado. Onde é que você viu um leão afeminado? A música do Lion King é da nova era de Shirley MacLaine. Por isso as crianças ficam vidradas, porque a música é uma música do inferno. É uma música dedicada ao demônio. E se você para o vídeo de Lion King, o Rei Leão, o Leão Rei, em slow motion, quando ele pega com as patas no chão e as partículas do pó que se levantam no meio da televisão, forma a palavra sex. S-E-X, sexo. E você ainda crê que Disney é entretenimento familiar? Do you really believe that? Você crê que a Disney é para crianças? E vou apresentar isso, você nunca viu na sua vida. É a reportagem do Dr. James Dobson, num programa chamado Focus on the Family, Enfoque a Família. Os livros dele estão traduzidos em português. Está Mickey Mouse apresentando o último vídeo da Disney. Sabe que você quer saber o nome? Growing Up Gay, crescendo homossexual. Agora a Disney criou 2 Mickey Mouse homossexuais e 2 Minnie Mouse lésbicas. Aqui nesse vídeo de Growing Up Gay, o porta-voz da Disney convida a todos os adolescentes homens a explorar o maravilhoso mundo da homossexualidade. Isso é Disney. Michael Eisner, o dono da Disney, de 60% das ações que ele tem, ele deixou a sua mulher em Burbank, perto da minha casa na Califórnia, e se casou com um homem homossexual 3 meses atrás no Disney World, Orlando, Flórida. Eu vou lhe dar um conselho nessa noite em nome de Jesus. Você não sabe o que é Disney. É um império satânico feito com uma assombrosa precisão para destruir a tua casa e para destruir os teus filhos. Vou lhe dar um conselho nessa noite. Destrua esses vídeos e salve a sua casa da maldição do dia de amanhã.
Most of you may not realize that when you turn on the television, what you see as a constant flow of images is actually flickering. Although you do not see this consciously, the repetitive pattern of flickering images creates a state that is similar to hypnosis.
In an exclusive interview with an ex-Illuminati programmer, Sivli, who was the former Satanic Cult member, she says, "It is important to realize that, when a person watches television, they go into an alpha brainwave state, in which they are more suggestible than normal. In fact, a lot of Illuminati programming is done in alpha state, since the person is relaxed and highly suggestible. Have you ever noticed the glazed expression on the face of a person who has been watching television for any length of time? This is from being in prolonged alpha state, and a semi-dissociative state, and this is for people who have not been raised with mind control." She also says that the media is so infiltrated. A better question is which ones don't promote their agenda? Saturday morning cartoons that show animals, people morphing a well-known occult phenomena, or that glorify the concepts of earth, water, fire, the magical elements, or those that blatantly show mind control techniques. Even video games, such as Tomb Raider, or Metal Gear Solid, show training chairs and people being tortured, which surprised and saddened me. The hero has to rescue the person. She says, I would guess that 90% of current cartoons have mystical, occult themes that are geared to catch children and subtly indoctrinate them to accept animal guides or spirit guides. The idea of training, even cute little Pokemons turn from docile creatures into snarling demonic fighters after their trainer helps them change, which is too close for comfort for me to what the Illuminists do to docile children. Ex-Illuminati programmer, Sivli, a former satanic cult member.
Their tongues to deceive. The venom of snakes is under their lips. Their mouths are full of bitterness and curses. And in their paths, nothing but ruin and misery. And the fear of God is not before their eyes. They have taken the hearts and minds of our leaders. They have recruited the rich and the powerful. And they have blinded us to the truth. Our human spirit is corrupted. Why do we worship greed? Because outside the limit of our sight, feeding off us, perched on top of us from birth to death, are our owners. Our owners. They have us. They control us. They are our masters. Wake up. They're all about you, all around you.
Easy to apply nails, pre-colored in 7 luscious hues. Just...
Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep.
Oh, goddamn hacker, that second damn night that asshole's cut in.
The movement was begun 8 months ago by a small group of scientists who discovered, quite by accident, these signals being sent through...
Things giving me a headache. Yeah, tell me about it. Must took the hackers months to figure out how to do this.
The poor and the underclass are growing. Racial justice and human rights are non-existent. They have created a repressive society, and we are their unwitting accomplices. Their intention to rule rests with the annihilation of consciousness. We have been lulled into a trance. They have made us indifferent to ourselves, to others. We are focused only on our own gain. Please understand, they are safe as long as they are not discovered. That is their primary method of survival. Keep us asleep, keep us selfish, keep us sedated.
Let's have a look at television statistics. Number of hours per day that television is on, in an average is, in USA home 6 hours and 47 minutes. Hours per year the average American youth spends in school, is 900 hours. Hours per year the average American youth watches television is, 1,500 hours. Number of murders seen on television by the time an average child finishes elementary school is 8,000. Number of violent acts seen on television by the age of 18 is 200,000. Number of 30-second television commercials seen in a year by an average child is 20,000. Research has shown that mindless television, or video games may idle and impoverish the development of the prefrontal cortex, or that portion of the brain that is responsible for planning, organizing and sequencing behavior for self-control, moral judgment and attention. American Academy of Pediatrics. Understanding Television's Effect on the Developing Brain, Jane Healy, Ph.D. From May 1998, App News. 86% of Britons feel their government should step in to regulate sexually explicit television and magazine images aimed at children, according to a BBC poll of more than 1,000 people. While the strongest support came from 55 to 64-year-olds. A surprising 78% of 18 to 24-year-olds also believe tougher restrictions are necessary to discourage adolescent sex. Britain is currently experiencing a surge in STDs, up to 57% from 1995, and HIV cases up to 20% from last year, along with a rising rate of teenage pregnancies. To overviews of existing studies conducted by the Surgeon General's Office in 1972 and 1982 called Television Violence, a contributing factor to increases in violent crime and antisocial behavior. The New York Times. Laurie Mifflin, many researchers say link is already clear on media and youth violence.
Correctly with the correct amount.
Once the prophet, peace and blessing upon him, stood over one of the high buildings of Medina, and then said to the people, "Do you see what I see?" They said, "No." He said, "I see afflictions falling among your houses as raindrops fall."
A Problem Solvers hidden camera investigation made a shocking discovery at local malls. A popular store is selling sex toys and even pornography to kids.
Inside any Spencer store is an eye-shrieking onslaught of tasteless gag, trash, and holiday party items. But beyond the drinking games, the finger lights, and other drug-inspired paraphernalia, the Problem Solvers hidden cameras found an even seedier side of Spencer's. Next to the genital-shaped cake pans and toys, you'll also find a wide array of vibrators, handcuffs and whips, and graphic sex manuals. It's a teen magnet.
It's like the cool hangout place.
Lindsay's not her real name, but it's what we're going to call her because she's only 13.
Did you think it was wrong or? Yeah, I was really nervous.
Lindsay says for a joke, she and a friend bought a sex aid at the Tacoma Mall Spencer's. She says the clerk never questioned her, a 13-year-old.
Did the store clerk ask you how old you were? No.
But when Lindsay's mom found out,
almost had a heart attack.
Malls are popular teen and preteen hangouts.
I thought she was safe.
But Angela Mendoza found that in addition to the Smurf backpacks and SpongeBob cartoon hats in the front of all Spencer's, there's also the blow-up sex dolls and candy nipple tassels.
They have sex toys in there, they have nude photos, they have sex games, stimulants, all kinds of stuff.
And no apparent age limit.
I'm just appalled that they would sell these things to minors.
With Mendoza's approval, the Como 4 Problem Solvers went undercover with Lindsay to see if other Spencers would also sell sex items to kids. Our hidden cameras videotaped a clerk ringing up a graphic sex manual for Lindsay at a Puyallup Spencer's. In Tukwila, again, no one questioned her purchase of adult erotica. This is just one of the items our 13-year-old bought at Spencer's. It's full of photographs of men and women having sex. So graphic, I can't show you a single page. Well, I can show you the index.
I'm angry. I'm really angry.
3 stores, 3 different malls, all willing to sell sex toys and pornography to kids.
The worldwide sex toy industry is estimated at $15 billion annually. 3.35 million people in the USA search for the keyword sex toys in Google each month. Alaska buys the most sex toys per capita. China is the world's largest exporter of sex toys. 70% of global production. 44% of women between the ages of 18 and 60 have used a sex toy. In the first season of popular series, Sex and the City, Charlotte developed an erotic obsession with her rabbit pearl vibrator. After the airing of these episodes, online sales of the rabbit pearl skyrocketed. China has the potential to be one of the biggest buyers of sex products in the world, along with the USA and Japan. China has the largest adult toy OEM producers in the world, and its total production accounts for 80% of the world's output. 10,000 Chinese companies were involved in the sex product industry. According to the China Sex Health Committees, The annual sale volume of sex products in China exceeded 100 billion yuan, which is equal to USA $12 billion. In 2003, a figure still rising by 30% annually. Viagra, the well-known blue pill designed to help with erectile dysfunction, made $411 million in profits within the first 3 months of its release in 1998 before going on to, it makes $1.8 billion in 2003. Most sex toys are sold on the internet. Number of vibrators sold in 1993, which was the first year, 500 vibrators being sold. But in 2010, 94,000 vibrators were sold. UK consumers spend some GBP 315 million on sex products each year, according to retailer Lovehoney. Sales of sexual potions and medicines amounted for 50 to 60 billion yen, which is equal to USA $7.2 billion a year. Sales of sex toys and vibrators have also been rising since 2000. By the year 2004, over and over. The explanation for Apple users' apparent sex addiction put forward by Lovehoney director Richard Longhurst. He says, Apple users might spend more than Windows users because they are sexually more confident and are more adventurous in the bedroom. Germany's Green Party demanded that their government launch an investigation into high levels of dangerous chemicals found in sex toys. Phthalates, which are a family of chemical rubber softeners used in many sex toys. In further studies, they were found in high doses to cause cancer in rats, and even in lower doses. The rats had some serious problems such as genital development and fetal development, which produces stillborn rats. The FDA and Greenpeace have statement that these chemicals present a possible health risk to the human population. Governor Schwarzenegger passed a toxic toy ban to keep phthalates out of children's toys. Studies on rodents have revealed that when exposed to very large doses, phthalates can cause damage to the liver, lungs, kidneys, testes and can cause hormonal disruption. The latest research indicates that exposure to these substances can upset the body's ability to regulate hormone production, damage reproduction, and cause liver and kidney defects. They can also possibly cause cancer. These sex toys addiction is not an accident. It's well-crafted map for your consciousness. Let's have a look on children's toys.
It's the Little Smart Alphabet Desk by VTech. And this is the Leapfrog Leap Smart Learning Table. This is the problem right here, this little door. When it's on this page, it sounds like this. When it's on this page, it does this. But the problem is this part just pulls right off. This part just comes off so easily. And there's a little tiny button here that actuates the voice to go. If it's on this page, listen to what it says. This is brand new. You can buy this right now at Toys R Us, Amazon.com, or almost any store in the country. It's Disney's Talkin' Bobbin' characters from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Pluto's little paw, how he's holding it. Do you see this? Here's Pluto. Here's his paw. And you see there's a leg here that's hinged. Dogs, when they sit down like Pluto is, they hold their paw like this. They want your attention, like, oh, I want a treat, and they hold their paw up like this, right? Everybody knows that. if you look, Pluto is holding his paw the way a dog would hold his paw. He's holding his paw up with his elbow bent. Very clear. I'm making sure that you can all see this here of what's going on.
Do you know what Pluto's favorite toy is? That's right. You helped me find Pluto's dog bone. Do you know where it is?
There's his bone.
That's right.
It's the Dora the Explorer Aqua Pet. Doesn't this look like it might be a prop from the next Borat movie rather than a toy for your youngster? This is a real toy. And what does this little D stand for right in the center? I hope it stands for Dora. Have an adventure with your Dora the Explorer interactive friend. So what kind of adventures do you think Dora will be exploring with this toy? On that belt buckle, it says, enter. Why on earth does it say enter on that girl's belt buckle? I mean, really. What are they entering? Why are they entering it? What do you think the word enter on that belt buckle means? And do you think it's inappropriate to put enter on a girl's belt buckle? The Briar's Classic horse right next to the Bratz horse. Do you think that Bratz intended for these horses to have what looks like human boobs on the front of them? Here is the Bratz horse again. Do you think that they actually intended to sculpt boobs on the front of this horse? A vibrating toy. That's the toy. Pregnant Barbie doll. That's right, it was part of a line called Happy Family. And if you look, she has a very miniature little wedding ring. They really wanted to make certain that you knew that this doll was married and not an unwed teen. There's the pregnant belly right there. It's held on by magnets, little super magnets. Here it is. I'm delivering the baby. There's the baby. Oh my goodness. There's the baby. They're the magnets. I guess in the Barbie world, all babies are born with copyright 2002 Mattel Indonesia on them. I mean, really. It's the Spider-Man Super Bow and Arrow game. It's not really a game, it's just a bow and arrow. Look at Spider-Man. There's Spider-Man's head. His chest looks rather like, boobs. But it gets more interesting the further down you go. Look where the arrow gets inserted. In his crotch and protrudes out his, ass. I mean, really? Who thought this was a good idea? Poor Spider-Man doesn't know if he's coming or going, I guess. Fly the fun, convulsing projectile. High speed, amused, funny. Take the pleasure to in earnest aim him carefully. Embed in humor in the child's head. Here's Batman flying through the air. I think this really needs a probing, in-depth review, don't you think? You have to fill him with water, so you have to remove his butt plug. Now you have to repeatedly pull his trigger. No, I won't do that, I swear. Now Popeye one, just the same freaking way. They made Dumbo the same exact way. Donald Duck's official water pistol. There's Donald's trigger, and there's his water fill hole. Barbie doll that actually grew boobs. Dolls is part of the Barbie My Scene line. They actually use a different mechanism than the growing up Skipper. You turn her arm around, her boobs grow. In the My Scene Barbie, there's a wing nut in the center of her back. You turn this, and she actually gets an inch taller like Skipper did, and she actually grows boobs. I mean, really. It's the Shapeshifter's Punisher. And he opens easily to reveal his secret crime-fighting equipment with these darts. You gotta make sure that you push him in far enough so his gun gets cocked. Move this sleeve around. I don't want to do it right now, but oops. Lots of cartoon character switch plates. I wonder if anyone inadvertently did the same effect with a licensed switch plate cover.